one really gross story. It's probably the weirdest thing that ever happened to me on a set. It was early days of my career, and I still didn't exactly know what I was doing. And I got hired to do a female bukkake scene. Which is basically just girls squirting. I've never squirt. I can't squirt on command. They didn't seem to mind. I got to set and they kind of gave me a rundown about if you can't squirt, no problem. And I'm about to ruin a bit of a fantasy for some of you. I'm very sorry. We're gonna take a douche of water. You can pump it up there. And you just squeeze tight, and when we say go, you push. And it's gonna look like squirting, so that's great. So a couple of other girls, there were 13 of us, I think. Not everybody could squirt, no problem, we were gonna do that. One of the girls, it was her turn to squirt in another girl's face. And she couldn't squirt, so they did this strategy, and they did it, she held. And when they said go, she pushed, and when she pushed, a bloody tampon flew out and hit the other girl in the face. We all saw, it was pretty gross. That's burned into my head forever.
I have no fucking clue. All I know is it feels good when it comes out.
My ideal penis, well, it doesn't have to be 12 inches long, because I get a lot of questions whenever I come, because they always see me with really big cock. And they say, does it really matter? No, it doesn't matter, because as long as you know how to use your cock and know how to fuck me with it, definitely I'm all in. I would say more than 100-something scenes, and I have fucked a lot of cock, and especially mixed cock. I fuck over and over again, like so many times. We have done so many scenes together, and he make me squirt it so many times. Yeah, the most he made me squirt was for heart attacks for 90 times in one scene. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite fun. When my mother and my father, they found out, they said, like, Mick, I mean, they didn't say Mick, they said my real name. You're doing this. Is there any way you can do maybe something else? I really like what I'm doing, and I make money with it. And it's like, okay. After they saw it was doing pretty okay, they said, like, okay, yeah, we can deal with it. But then came the next bomb, and that's a good one, because my mother, she was basically working the coffee place or the buffet of a tennis center, and people started to find out what I do, and they were asking questions, and it's like, hey, we know what he does. Can you give us a movie? And she's like, nah, not really. But then it came worse. Once my family found out, like her sisters and the uncles, the sisters basically asked her, it's like, hey, we know what Mick is doing. Can we maybe see one of his movies? And so she came to me and was like, my sisters are really curious. They know what you're doing. Do you have a movie? And I was like, Mom, I can't give you a movie what I'm doing, the sister's gonna watch it, and stuff like that. I mean, it's my aunts, it's like, I mean, I don't want them to see what I do. And I have to say I'm from Austria. In Austria, people think a little bit more open. Okay, fine. I was able to find a feature movie where I played a detective, and I gave them the movie. And the funny part was, I had Italian dubbing. They didn't understand, but they saw the concept. The really, really weird thing was, after my aunts saw it, they were my biggest fan. Aww. But my uncles didn't talk to me for 3 months.
I masturbate to a few things. The first stuff that I started masturbating to was hentai and interracial. I always dreamed of like a big black cock and tentacles. Like that's my ultimate fantasy. Big black tentacles. Why not? I also love to watch mixed porn because, I don't know, maybe I like him or something, but I think he's really hot when he's banging other chicks. No, okay, so to be honest, I didn't know who he was when I got in the industry. I didn't know who anybody was. Like, I grew up watching, like, all Digital Playground. Jessie Jane was, and, you know, like, Evan Stone, Tommy Gunn, that was, like, that porn era. That's the guys I knew. And then I come in, and they're like, oh, my God, do you know James Dean? Do you know Mick Blue? Do you know Manuel Ferrara? And I was like, who are those guys? I knew Lexington Steele.
Somebody that I know asked me to come be in a mainstream film in a small part last minute, same day. He hit me up. He was like, hey, we need somebody for this part. Can you come do it? It was Samurai Cop 2. So he asked me to come be in it, and his selling point is, you're gonna play Tommy Wiseau's girlfriend. So fuck yeah, I'm doing that. He's like, have you seen The Room? I was like, yes. You're gonna play Tommy Wiseau's girlfriend. Okay, I'll be there. I get there, and I'm excited to meet Tommy Wiseau, okay? Because this is just like, come on, this is hilarious. So I get there, and they're shooting stuff, and they take me up to the green room. They introduce me to Tommy, and I was excited. And I can't remember why it came up, probably my name, but we started talking about Comic-Con. He was saying that he'd been to Comic-Con, I'd been to Comic-Con. I thought we were bonding. It was a good time. We're talking, we're conversing, it's great. No, I cannot do an impression of, can you? Can you do an impression of Tommy Wiseau?
I don't know.
That's a very good impression.
They take me away to go to makeup. It comes back, the guy that asked me to be in the first place, he comes back and tells me that Tommy Wiseau is refusing to let me have the part based on the fact that I am an adult film actress. He doesn't want an adult film actress to play his girlfriend. I thought we were bonding. I was wrong. He's now locked himself in his room and is refusing to do the scene with me. I'm very uncomfortable. That kind of sucks. I thought it was going well. Everybody feels bad. Basically, they were just kind of like, sorry, you have to leave. The guy that had asked me to do it felt really bad and was trying to get him to apologize to me or at least talk to me at all, and he refused. And there was a very uncomfortable point where I was leaving, but he needed to go to set, and we had to like cross paths, and it was really weird. And he just kind of like looked at me and like went down the stairs. So it was really weird. I didn't get paid. I had to leave. It sucked. And then ultimately, I believe Caden Cross played his girlfriend in the movie.